Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Alright, well, so for starters, you're probably going to notice this little band-aid I've made on my forehead. I kind of, when I was working in the yard, got hit in the head. And it's still a little red, so I've got like some Neosporin on it. So today we're going to do this, so that you don't have to wonder about it. So a little bit of an interesting setup to start the week, I guess. ZN has moved back up. ES has moved back down. Basically gave up what they did on Friday. So it seems like last week's regime is still in place. Now, we'll say we tend to buy the first of the month, but we already had a bit of a buy, so I'm not so sure about what else you get, but there could be a push higher. I'm kind of looking here. I want to see the deltas. Would they justify or show us a setup for a breakout long? I have to say probably not. If I see some sort of a move lower that fails, then maybe we could take it long. Otherwise, I don't know if the setups that we have are too great. We do have manufacturing PMI at 8, so that would probably keep things down. And then, of course, it's the 4th of July, and that's definitely going to keep things down. Okay. Well, let's grab the links. Cool beans. Yeah, already people saying, oh, maybe this is a Head and Shoulders in Bitcoin. Nope, probably not. Interesting that they had this buy over the weekend, going into the weekend rather, and then they gave it up and they had this, and then somebody else bought, and then again they're like only barely making highs. Like this should go whoop, and then they should already be up above June 26th. So it's really, the buys are just super weak. Okay, so there's some absorption there at 12.5. Oh, I have some food, so I'm going to turn the microphone off for a little bit, but we might be having something happen here, and wondering if it's going to flip and turn down. Wouldn't want to take that one, but I'm just going to let it do its thing. Get through this whole thing right here, really. If they get below 110, then maybe we get something else. Oh, Hunsun Wing asks, if I place a volume stop order on the offer to go long, but someone lifts everything on the offer and it goes bid without triggering my order, does the order then stay limit or does it become a market order? Well, that's a good question. And the thing I would look here is in the strategy manager. If I do my standard one, so I have a stop. See here where it says stop type, you have stop and you have stop limit. So if you have stop limit set there, then it's going to go in at the price that you have set. You know, so if I had a stop here and they've dropped below my stop, which is 1500, then my stop would go off. And because we're still offer 120, my order would go off at 120. But if, for instance, you know, I had my stop at 115 and somebody sold everything like that, somebody sold everything there right away, there's a chance that my order would go off at 110 unless I have it as a stop limit, and then I would still be bid 115 and I would probably be something like 900th in line. That's the way it's supposed to work. I've had some spots where I was also confused too on the stop, but I think that it was because I had a stop when I thought it was a stop limit. I think that's what happened. So yeah, hope that answers the question. And it did turn around there. I'm surprised at when I saw the absorption there at 120, I really thought, you know, really thought that that could stop it and make it go down, and sure enough it did. But that wasn't a strong enough signal that, and it was so early, it wasn't necessarily one that I want to take. And there's still a possibility that we stop here at 110.5 and then just go up, you know. But I'm not seeing them pressure it. I'm not seeing them lowering or anything like that. So I don't know. It could go through. It's hard to say. I see enough volume long here that we could absolutely go through there. Oh, you know what? I needed to do something else. Hold on a second. Okay, let's see if we can do this. I'll show you my cool new toy they found on Friday. So we saw this absorption here and thought that that could stop it, and of course it did. So we moved down here. Okay, and now we have this right here. this step in the profile right here. So what I'm looking at is this offer right here. I want to see if this offer tries to press unusually, and if we get absorption here, because I'm thinking that they're going to try and lean on it here again. Okay, so they are stacking pretty good and pulling pretty good and absorbing pretty good. So we might actually get, this might actually be a long. Can you see that? Is that cool? I think that's really cool. I think that should be really useful for us, right? Let's clear that. Okay, well now I'm concerned. It's flipping back and forth, and we've seen 1500 now. So I'm not really too sure how this one's going to resolve. I think it's better that I just watch this one. If it ticks up, then maybe I might take a long. Okay, they traded through there. People were a little reluctant to hit it, but they did hit the 10. The problem is if you sold there, you have a like +1. Uncertain if they go through. And there's this liquidity sitting here at 09.5 and 08. So I think that there was some were expecting that and we're trying to get it filled here. Yeah, that's a good point. It's still. So once you've defined the strategy in the strategy manager, how do you actually use it? So here on the DOM, you press this $sign in the trading settings, and then it's this little drop down right here. It should show up in that drop down. You see that? I will take a picture. Look, we can draw a pretty picture for you. No, we want this one. Oh, that's not right either. And there we go. You see it? There we go. There we go. Right there. Cool. Well, they've been here for quite some time at 10, 10.5. it looks like, you know, I'm seeing this right here. This 2951. And I'm saying, yeah, that's a lot of absorption there at the bottom. But I'm also seeing this price right here. And then that's a big order that's been down there for a while. So that's why I feel like we could get an extension of the range here. Now, I wasn't sure if they were going to take this step. Now they could take this step. Beyond that, it seems like a little bit more questionable. So we might get our signal here at 10 and 9.5. Okay. Let's reset this now. Okay, so a few hits. And you can see that the bid is stepping up, like that they want to take it. They are through the VWAP too. Hmm. So what I see is we're kind of turning around at an area that's been key in the past. There was a lot of orders here at 09.5 and 10. So based on that, it's really hard for me to make a strong conclusion. I think that that's enough though that we can risk an order now. No, we're probably too late, but there was enough volume here that if they push to the other side, you might have a lot of people caught. Now, can I move it up a tick? I'm gonna say I'm gonna let it tick down and see what it does. That offer is weak, I might just hit into it. But the concern is still that when you get a big iceberg on both sides, it's difficult to predict which side is going to win. But now that we had one side was won, at least temporarily, I think we can go with it. That's where I'm still a little unsure, so I want to see them test back into it and fail. Yeah. Okay, so they did tick down and we saw some stops. Not 1300 on the offer is okay. So I think that just says to me that yeah, we don't want to chase this, but the fill at 10 might be okay. But if this works out the way that I think it's going to, I think we should see a lot of Zarp here at 10. They shouldn't be able to just trade through it. So this is still a little iffy, I think. Long is definitely the way I want to go, though. I want to see it bounce off this view well. Okay, so we got filled, but only 692 traded. I'm gonna say that's not what we wanted. And nothing's trading into 09.5 yet, though. Well, let's see if this holds. Nope. Definitely no. There is some absorption there at 21, though. Well, I think I should have hit out of that one as soon as I had gotten filled. It was clearly not the way that it was supposed to work out. They're even hitting that 08 half. This doesn't quite seem like a good long setup anymore. You can see too many trading at 09. Sucks too because there was this support zone, and then there's this support zone, and I'm getting out at this support zone. But I kind of have to because look, there's this next one at 06. I can't risk 08 to 06, so. And there's a lot absorbing at 9. I think they could clear a half. Okay. Well, the 2194 is a little better there. I think I should have been more cognizant of the fact that the bids have been pulling almost the whole. I mean, you can see right here it's showing you that bids have been pulling. I thought that since they had come up there a little bit, that when they came back down, that the bids would hold, and they didn't. So I think it was an okay trade setup, but that was the thing that probably could have seen that might have made us think twice about it. Well, now there's 44.19 if traded there. I'm almost thinking about pulling my order. I don't, and the trade was wrong. Well, okay. Trade was wrong, so we need to get out even though I'm seeing 10 there at 08 half. There's 10. Break it. Some stops. Yeah. That sucks. Well, it seems to me that I tried playing a reversal play where I shouldn't have, because normally I wouldn't necessarily try and trade that area. Normally I would have tried to sell into 08 half. Okay, well now the trade is, we're looking for an after she goes at 8 or 8 half. This sell has been really strong. I might, yeah. You want to sell away half, yeah. I really should have just taken that first absorption, man. That's no way to know, but geez. Was up at 120. Was it good for 8? I don't think I would have held it that far. I think I would have gotten out at like 10 and a half. Yeah. I don't think he would have taken it for 8. Yeah, the place where it mattered was 10 half, right? Because there was 5k there at 10 half and there was 5k at 11. Was it there? Sorry, where did I take mine? Yeah, it was at 10. Okay. So it came up and then it came back, and that was where you probably would have taken that short off. But then there was the question of, okay, there was an imbalance here created at 10. Which way is it going to go from there? And they tried long and just didn't really go. So then at that point, I knew that we were probably going to come down here. But I think one, I had my stop in a bad spot, but I was trying to get filled and I couldn't get out. I should have been I should have been much more concerned than I was, because I was very very quickly, as soon as I got filled, I was quickly starting to see like, this is the kind of action that's good for my continuation strategies. If you short here, well, so another thing is if you're short here and you see an imbalance like that, it might be worth it to hold it, because yeah, it's a potential reversal zone, but if that fails, you get this, you get exactly what we had here. And it's the same sort of a thing where you got over 08 half. I'd be sitting there with my stop at like 09, because when they come back up here, there's a good chance that the offers are going to absorb and defend it and try and push it lower. Although we've moved so far, I think that you're going to take it like, I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah. Would you sell it with a 1 tick stop? Oh, that's not what I meant. Oh, that's not what I meant. Yeah. you would get out at 08. Well, I think any time that you see some major absorption is a potential area to get out. So that's why I was saying maybe 10 was one that you could do. But then when you see it absorbing on the other side, that's like a 50-50, frankly. Your probability there at that point. But you get the okay, so that right there shouldn't happen. So I think that I can consider taking a long here now. But anyways, that's what I'm saying. This one, so you might have this 10 was a potential profit taking zone. I don't know if anybody had an edge there that it was going to do that, right? But then when only 692 traded there at 10, then you for sure know you should hold that. And then when it came down to the 10 at 085 right here, then that was another potential profit taking zone. But because they ticked through it, I would I would hold it. And now here, it went through it, but then they weren't really attacking the 07 half. There wasn't really, and this 08 didn't absorb, this 08 half is not absorbing, then I definitely think you want to take it off here at this point, and that's why I'm thinking about taking a reversal. But you say they're at 120, there's, you couldn't have known that it was worth it for 8. Well, that's kind of why it's good to let them ride when it's that kind of action. The thing that was interesting about that one was that I thought when they came through here that they would extend the range, and they did. It's just I thought that they were going to extend the range and stop, and then when they came back and there was nothing there, that was at the point that I knew that we were no longer having a rangy day. We were having a more of a trend day. Maybe a trend day is not the right word, but right, liquidity is not holding things, or as of yet has not. Now that also means on the flip side, if we do take a long here, I think I'm gonna have to not get too greedy. We could take away half, but I think that if we took away half, we would want to be getting out at like 10 or 10 half. Maybe even 9 half. It kind of sucks because we've been talking about, that kind of action for a long time now. And I wish that I had been short at 120 so that we would have a better example of how to trade that. Because what we have instead is we have an example of where some of those ranged plays that we've been trying to learn or have been talking about, that's just a good example of when they don't work, of those failing. And it's a good example of how it can screw you over too, right? Because even if you know that you're wrong, it's like it can go against you faster than you expect and not let you out. We were sitting there, we had like what on the limit? We were like 500 in line and just didn't get filled. Yeah. Well, it's taking it too long. So now I'm not really looking at along. Okay. Yep, I think it's the slowness that can lull you into a false sense of security. There's some buying, but not enough to fill somebody at the back of the queue for a scratch. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They just didn't, there was no buyers there. Really, you can see this whole area here. There was not a lot of buyers. There was buyers at 08.5. And I guess you could say that there was buyers at 08. Not that much volume went through there. I guess another way of putting it is that the range strategies. So we talk about the range strategies, or a mean revision strategy versus a trend strategy in bonds, and that right there is just the perfect example of the thing you have to be careful about with the range bound strategy, right? You lose 4, and normally you're taking 2 or 3 on a trade. That really hurts. Yeah, did I say it wrong? Mean reversion. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, mean reversion. So the problem with the mean revert, not that I don't want to say the problem, because I don't want to mean like that strategy doesn't work. But the thing you got to be careful about with the mean reversion trade is that when you lose, it'll tend to be, or when it's wrong, it tends to be really, really wrong. And so you have to realize when you're wrong very quickly and just hit out. And I didn't do that time. I was waiting for a fill. I thought I was going to get a fill, and I didn't. Okay, well, I was looking for her after she goes at 08.5, and there was 5,000 there traded at 08.5. They traded through it, but we're going to see if it sticks here. It's a little iffy because the next step down is 06. So there might be a 6 ticker in here, but I don't know if I really want to take it. It just doesn't seem like, it seems like that the 5-year needs to come back. This right here. See this right here. Go like this. This right here. Right. It's a very unusual for ZB to, or sorry, for ZF to go all the way like that. That wouldn't make sense. It's gonna go like, it's probably more likely to go like probably more likely to go like this and then extend. Another thing I'm just seeing. something that I should have paid attention to is this right here. What were the chances that the E-mini was going to go lower? And in order for us to move up, we would probably need some support from the E-mini going down, you know? So probably when that happened, you know, when we were right here saying, oh, we should take the treasuries along, probably didn't make sense with what this setup in the E-mini was doing. It's like, I don't think you should try and trade the correlation per se, but I don't think you want to be set up against it either. So, a couple of places there where I think I made a mistake. Okay, well that 09 seems a little suspicious. Yep. No. I should wait. The timing is wrong on this one. Well, you can see that that '07 half is starting to thicken up. Is it the '07 half? Yeah. See the '07 half thicken up after they left it there? I think that's common though, that it's like a pivot, that it tends to get more white. But then when it ticks up, you've seen it pretty thick at '08 half as well. Between 105 and '09. Yeah, I'm going to be watching this 10. I'm going to be watching this 10 very carefully to see if a lot trades through there or not. If it just zips back up through it, then that's one thing. But if it comes up and it gets slow, then maybe we get a continuation type of a trade here. Should also point out that when you on my VWAP indicator, we didn't reach the first deviation. So even though it seemed like that was a really strong move, given the move overnight, that wasn't unusual. It was a little better in ZF. So in ZF, I could see how it could come up to here and then go down to like 18. Three minutes. Okay, so some absorption on the bid at '09. Did I say at one point I did put an order in? It was long, wasn't it? I just want to confirm I'm not, am I crazy here? No. Tried to sell it? Okay. Well, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Glad I canceled it. Okay. Nope. Took that at the wrong time. Should have waited for that. Right there. Okay. Nope. Oh, there you go. It happened here at 2701.75. Surely they're going to try and trade it, right? Relatively quiet open for the E-mini, isn't it? Okay. They still haven't hit that. Okay, there they took it right all at once too. I don't know. That was a little bit much. Like they went through it, sure, but it didn't like. Okay, that's a little better. I think it's what is it? Oh, 375 that they need to go through, or this step right here. Yeah. Okay. It's 50. Okay, so they're trading up through where they opened, and I'm not seeing bubbles. Okay. it could continue through that, but I think that that's enough absorption for the risk that I was taking in the E-mini to be like, okay, hands off. That's pretty cool. I wouldn't be taking that with a regular account, mind you, but that was still fun. See that out of 08. Like, I think this could continue if I was short 8.5. Yeah, see that. This could continue down to 060. I do like the idea of it short, but I just, I'm not gonna sell into that. No. It's not a sensible. You're gonna get 4, but you're risking 4. I don't know if the probability there makes sense. Might have to watch it push down and be all FOMO about it. I'm actually, so like that long in the E-mini looked okay, but it actually did not. It did not go the way that I wanted it to. Because I got out when I saw some absorption, when I saw the bubble. I think that was the right call. But what I wanted to see it do was zip up right through this VWAP and then take another leg up from that. And now it's still going up, so it looks like, you know, maybe my exit signal was too sensitive. And the 0.7.5 is pulled. Okay. $22 is a little bit less than what I wanted, but I think it's still okay. So they didn't bid much. Okay. They didn't offer much either. Okay, there we go. All right, they might go through. 13, 20, 17. It's not quite what I want, huh? Yeah. The action is fruity. Uh, uh, this is enough to want to try something here. This was another. This is another experiment that I was thinking about trying, which was I took a short and it didn't go the way that I wanted, so I'm trying to get out of break even. Now I'm seeing if it'll actually let me reverse and see what happens with the reverse. Okay. So we gotta be careful if there's absorption here to wait on the way back. Okay, 15. I'm gonna say that's okay. No, that is not okay. So the thing that I saw that concerned me was they traded down and then they traded up, and I think that was when we saw it wasn't 1125, but it was like 1,000 traded up, and then immediately this 229 came down again, and then they put 2,000 on the offer. That's not quite the level break per se, but that does give some indication that somebody is buying it there. See that? Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Well, that did not work. See, I should have just kept the original one, the original sell. Should have just kept the original sell. But it did not. Well, there was a few that went off at 070. Okay, so they traded through the 07 half. I only saw like one order go through, right? If we see some volume here at 07 half, if that's over 3, yes, take it. It may be the case that we're just getting a lot of really rangy action because of the E-mini, and I'm getting a little overly excited here. because we could consider this area mid-range. Yeah, Prophet saying, I would rather not trade this conflict area until it breaks out to either side. Orders are choppy here. You know, this one seems a little... Well, first of all, I'm not even sure if I'm going to get filled here, but let's say I get filled. I don't want it to go through me when I get filled. I want it to hold still. And I think that would be a valid signal long. Based off of it, you know, one order trading through at 07 and then an iceberg at 07.5, that to me would be a valid reversal. But I just don't feel super confident right now. Maybe I'm having a little bit of head games and still just not feeling confident overall. So that's why I feel like I just have to keep this, because I think that this one is a lot better than the one that I had before. Yeah, that sucks. think when we took it along the first time, we were early to the trade. I think the case is that, well, now I'm not liking what I'm seeing at 8. I'm starting to think that the probability, like getting filled here and all of this, is maybe a little bit too iffy to be doing what I want to be doing what I'm trying to do. I also think this '07 half being below 1,000 is really um, uh, what is the word I'm looking for? Suspicious, yes. Seems suspicious that '07 half is pulling. An index in a third. Yeah, no, we had another one that was suspicious. Where was it? What was it that happened? I think it was when we were like at 100 and it was actually pretty thick, but then they still ended up going through it. Yeah. Yeah. They haven't done one today that was like super obvious though. Like even that one I don't think was super obvious. Now that 1795 is traded through there, I think that we could say that that was a lure. At the same time, oh well, we're getting a pull, so that does not help. Maybe you should just hold on. Yeah. I'm gonna say probably should not be in this. 60 versus 58, and they got 4 ticks out of it, huh? Like the thought going through my head was like, probably shouldn't be in this because of the news. But then I was like, well, but I don't think that this particular news is going to be moving it that much. But then it moved 4 ticks. Oh. Oops. I should just be doing my thing. There are days I can think of where I've traded something like this and it was great. And now when I'm all ahead games and I'm making the wrong decision all over the place. So I need to find the right thing to anchor myself back here. Well, the news came out. The news was good. It moved us down. That's correct. Maybe it moved it down too much. Maybe we get a pullback. I don't know. Man, that E-mini went. I actually probably could have held that. I don't think I would have wanted to hold that through all that mess, though. Because I got it. I took it off like right there. Yeah. I did it right. I did the E-mini trade the right way. Clearly this ES1 though I did wrong. Man, I even said like, I'm unsure here. I remember saying, hey, it came down, it came back up, and then it went dead. So maybe it could extend. But then I remember seeing that it had only traded one at 070, and then it absorbed at 0.7. Then I didn't factor into the news. I think was really the only thing. So I shouldn't have taken that trade at all because of the news. So that was a really big mistake on my part. Uncharacteristically bad mistake. Yeah. Sounds like Uzi actually got his one at least. Constructing spending was not up as much as expected. I think I should have said, hey, you know, the down move seemed a lot stronger. Even though I see a long signal, I'm not going to take it until it gets above the VWAP or something. That's what I would normally do, right? Wouldn't take a long there. Wouldn't normally take a short where we should have taken a short either though, so I maybe would have taken it at 0.9.5 short. When I trade around the VWAP is what I would think I would have done. They're really pushing it. I mean, the selling is really strong. Yeah, the short side feels like they've got it today. Normally you would be up on a day like this, right? But they were up so much in the early morning session. Yeah, offer, and not only that, but this is just an example of any place that you got liquidity, they go through it, right? So here's something I want to point out to Tucker here that I think is interesting because of the thing that we were talking about the other day. I don't know if this is the right color here, but um, so look right here. This was yesterday. I need to make that way bigger. Okay, you see this area right here? That was from like Friday, right? That was how much was bid versus offered on Friday. Okay, and now look at today. Not a whole lot either way compared to what it was that other day, right? But then you look at the polling, right? So what actually happened? There's offers, and we'll point these out, and now I can get the slightly smaller one. Okay, so I think that the first one was this one right here, and then there was this one, and then they traded through it, right? So they traded through it, and then you'd think maybe it would stay, and you get this thing right here. But then look, they went through that one, and that one, and that one. And when you look at it, overall, what is the bids and offers doing? The bids are actually pulling. So if you were to look at the DOM and say, oh, hey, I got this four, this four, this four, that's strong, that's going to be hard for them to get through. No, 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 no. These guys are going to pull. It goes right through it. At least that's what it's been doing so far today. Part of me still feels like it's a little yeah, the liquidity pulled on that one right there. You can actually see where the liquidity pulled to, right? You see that little black spot. But I guess the thing is that if you look at the DOM right now, what I see is I see a lot of liquidity below us right here and nothing above us. Absolutely nothing above us. So based on some of the stuff we were saying the other day, you would think that it would move up through this, right? Is that how you would interpret that? This, I don't think this should be. Oh, well, I don't know if the book flipped. I mean, this area has been like that the whole time, right? Same here. I guess if you say that, you know, the news and it was a fluke, I can understand that. Hmm. Okay. Well, the one thing I do see that's changed is this right here in ZF. I don't see the balance between the bid and the offer. Well, except for this. I guess there was this, right? Now this is not there anymore. This isn't as strong, at least. It did reach a VWAP point. I do see some case for pulling. I think I would still need to see something pull here. You know? An offer pull. That's something that I don't think we've seen yet. Oh, it says that we've gotten a little bit of offer pulling. I don't know. I'm going to stay away from it because I feel like if there was a long trade here, there's a possibility that it's just a pullback, and I think I already made that mistake once today. So I'm not going to trade it long. Even though there might be a tick or two in it. Unless I see like a 5K somewhere or something. Well, the E-mini retraced almost all of what it gained there off of the news. And the big old offer there sitting there. The 4106. Probably there because that was the price before the news, essentially. ZB is eating through a lot of liquidity there, actually. And some are showing up at 10. 9, it's at 9. I don't want to stick a limit order in there and you know, until I see what's happened. You say that the long is gone now? Because why? What was it that what was the particular thing that you saw that changed your mind? Yeah. You had to buy it lower. Oh, sure. Be more detailed. I don't. That's exactly what I fucking pointed out, Keith. That's okay. I'm just gonna ignore this now. I don't think that my decisions today have been too great. And okay, 3K offered when they traded down. Wow. See, that right there would be the sort of thing that would make me want to sell it. Does that make sense? We're just gonna track it, but that right there on the downtick is really crazy. And only 882 into this, and this offer stood firm. Then you're gonna stop out into 08 and 08 half. Could be. Now we've traded down and they've added 4,500 on 06 half. And now 2. I'm not going to touch it, but this is just what I'm saying, guys. This is exactly what you would see. There now you should see a ton trade here at 708 or at 060. Okay, they didn't give him a chance, and now they're absorbing there. So I think that's the end of that. So let's clear it and reset. Maybe now we see absorption here. And then let's see, how can I draw this picture? Changed that S to a T. Oh man. Wait, so was that, you were still long there? Oh yeah. That sucks. Well, that's, I mean, you had it in the right spot at least. Yeah, I suppose so. Okay, so, but here was the point of all that. Was what did I say? We were, where were we? We were at 07.5, right? Oops. We were at 07.5. And only 882 traded into it, right? Okay. And then what happened? We ticked it down. And it was 449, right? And then what did I say? Well, that would make me want to sell it. So I would have sold this price right here. And then what would have happened? That. And maybe you get out here. Although I think at this point, it's probably worth keeping. So this is where, yeah, was that chasing right there? By taking that? Yes. But it would have worked out because there was just so much sell pressure. Well, I said at the time that this would make me want to sell it, but I haven't been trading so well, so I'm just going to watch it. Isn't that what I said? I'll tell you what I see here, guys. I see a market theory where we said, there's a bunch of gosh dang it. Hey, there's a bunch of liquidity here and no liquidity here. It's going to move up. And what happened? It didn't. It did the exact fucking opposite of what you guys said it was going to do. And now you're trying to put it off as some aberration or, well, you know, we could have played it this way and it would have been okay and everything. No, you just missed 6 ticks down and a look at the low of the day. So I'm sorry, but I think you should just sit down and say that our read on that was wrong. I'm willing to admit when my read is wrong. Not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to say this is the thing that I see in other guys, even though I think that a lot of you are better traders than me, to be honest, frankly. I think that Keith and Tucker are both better than me at this particular time. But this is the hole that I see that I think you should pay attention to, is that sometimes that will fuck you over. And if you can get that, that is worth a lot more money. So take it or leave it. You don't need to respond to it or anything. I know I'm a dick. And I know that I'm wrong a lot. But that's just, I've said my piece about it. Mm-hmm. Now, okay. So let me go back here. Those are good for quick scalps. Yeah, or yeah. Yeah, in fantasy land, okay. Well, I've done it many times before, but it would be a hard short to keep, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, if you could take two tickers in there. Did any of you guys take a 2 to 3 tick winner in that? I think Tucker got at least one, didn't he? No. I don't think that in that action that the 8 ticks was really a make-believe one though. Like this one right here. Man. You taking that, that's one. Well, let's like zoom in. Big time here, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then maybe you got out where you took it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, but here's the like. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing though is Dusty Fresh. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and you guys have a really good point, right? That holding it for 12 ticks is really hard, and um, I'm not sure with the way that all went through that I would have held it, right? Um, like let's just look at how we did this. Where was it? Where is it? Oh, there we go. Oh, we bought. Then we sold. Oh, we sold it. Oh, wait, was the one that we thought was a sell. That we thought it could continue. Okay. So let's just take that one as an example. Oh, wait. So we were saying, I was saying, sell it here. I was saying sell it here. Okay. So when you got to this point right here, here's a balance zone. So there's a potential profit taking. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks. Okay. And then we got this thing right here. So what was this? This was the news, right? Ow. So you probably couldn't even take that one. Okay, let's pretend that it wasn't news though. It only come back to within 1. And if you know that the pressure is still down, I don't know, like when I'm doing that sort of a scalp, let me approach this a different way. The way that I approach that kind of scalp is 5-tick pullback, and then you look for an exit. Okay? So did we ever get a 5-tick pullback? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. So actually, not that hard to keep if you use that particular rule. Or another rule would be higher highs and higher lows. Did we ever get that? Okay, well, here's a high, here's a low, here's a high, a low, a high, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So even on highs and lows, it never showed a reversal. How do you know if the pressure is down, the order book and offers just sitting on it? Okay, good question. And that's the thing that's freaking hard, because there's two ways. Well, there's two major things that I see it, right? I wish I could see more of last week. Oh, we can see more of last week. Okay, so here's a good example. Last week, what do we see? Here's some liquidity. We came down, here's some liquidity. We came up, here's some liquidity. We came down, here's some absorption in liquidity. We came up and here's some liquidity, right? So what does it do? It moves into the liquidity and then it reverses there, right? Is that accurate? Or can you see how maybe we shouldn't say that. Is that accurate? Do you get how I'm seeing that? I'm not saying that it does this all the time. I'm just, that's one way of saying what did it do on this day. And then on this one, over here, what happened? Well, we moved into some liquidity and then we went through it. And here's some liquidity down here. We're moving into it and maybe we go through it. So remember how they said that the market seeks liquidity, right? So all of the liquidity is below us. So it's going to go down. This thing that we were talking about earlier, all of this right here, the way I read that is, why is nobody going long? Because I tend to look at these resting orders as more exits. So I feel like this is like right here. See where this showed up? This order showed up. Oh, maybe that one was because it was 10 ticks. How about these right here? This stuff shows up. Or this one. And then this one. This says to me, hey, somebody went short here and that's their exit. Somebody went short here, that's their exit. Somebody went short here, that's their exit. Did anybody ever go long? A little bit here, where I went long. And a little bit there, but that was maybe a fake. Nobody's going long. I think that's a big warning sign. Now, the one exception of that would be this little thing right here. Let's see this little gap right here. Little teeny tiny one. Off of the news. Okay. And we went back and filled it. But then when we got to this one, nobody wanted to take it long. So they left a little vacuum there, but... So what's the difference between, what would be the thing that you would look at that would make you say, well, is it going to be like Friday or is it going to be like today? And that's where I want to point out this column that we were talking about, right? This right here. Okay, see all that red? That means that as we move into the liquidity, it is pulling. I think some of these little blips were either spoofs or people going long, yeah. You notice that they show up at the spots where the long made the most sense. Was it right here? Yeah, right here a long made sense. I think some of you guys took a long there. But then we got here. They didn't want to continue. But it's kind of like, I don't know. You kind of get this thing where like what, they come up to there and what? They just didn't take it, right? I don't think there was absorption at that spot. I think they came up there and they just didn't trade up into it. At least they didn't trade up into it aggressively enough and then it fell down, right? Kind of the same right there, probably. And then this was the news, so it doesn't really matter. But I guess maybe here's another way of saying it. I know I'm yapping a lot for somebody that didn't take any of that, but I do think it's correct that market tends to move towards liquidity, right? But that's only half of the equation. The other half of the equation is when it gets to that liquidity, what does it do? When it gets to that liquidity, what does it do? So I think you saw in this instance, there was still a lot of people selling here. How much was that, by the way? 10K. Oh, that was the 10K. All right. So a lot of people sold into it here, right? But it absorbed. And then you got the other side was, yeah, the other half is icebergs and level breaks, yeah. So there's absorption and level breaking type of behavior on this side, and there's just a lack of interest on this side. So when you start to see that, what is the conclusion that we can make? They're probably at some point going to go through the liquidity. And all of this other stuff is all just a trick to make you think that there's a possibility to go long, because they want people to go long so that they can sell it even further down. You know? It's like when you're looking at trying to still people's liquidity, I think is the phrase that Tucker used, right? I think that's true. It's just that there's two ways you can do that depending on whether we're trending or ranging. Because if we're trending, the way that you try and yank people's liquidity is a little bit different from the other way around. Yay. Well, I really should have come in here. Where was it? Right here. That was a sell. That was a sell. That was a buy. And then here, that was potentially a sell, but then it was news, so it wasn't worth anything. Okay. Now I see where I'm going wrong. And then when they came back up, this was, I felt tilted by this point, but that was the sell. And it wasn't, you could have caught one, you could have said, they're not taking it. Or you could have said, hey, a 4K bid off when it ticks down is a lot. And we've been trending today. I can sell it there. And I could have been short 07. So that was the second trade that I missed. So those were the two that I probably should, well, I probably should have taken three, but one would have been like almost nothing. Yeah. So now, next question, are they going to break the low? Well, it's 8:42. I don't know if I'm going to stick around to find out. But I'm going to post the charts and blah, 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 blah. So what do I need to keep in mind today? We're trending. I should only be selling. Maybe it stops somewhere, but I don't care where it stops. That's then the loser, and then you stop for the day. Oh my gosh, it's 634. It was 119. This Bitcoin is still crazy overvalued. Hmm. Yep. In fact, can we just take it? Okay, 1290 is not enough. Need to see if it ticks down again. Okay. They put up a good offer again. Okay, that's it right there. That's it right there. Okay, you're seeing a lot of absorption on the bid now as well. So that makes the trade a little bit more iffy, but I think it should still go offer and stay, and they should hit into 03. Yeah. No, when you see 3805 absorb on the other side, you should get out. But I wasn't. I was typing. I really thought they were just gonna try and go through it, so my bad. Let it stop it out here. Yeah. So you guys know that I have two birds now, right? Can you hear the difference between them? The baby is a little kind of squeaky. So that's my older bird. Okay. Sorry. Bad examples all around today, isn't it? Oh, yeah, we should close that. The drawing thing is really cool, though, yeah? So at least we got that. Ooh. Well, so what can I say before I go? Because I don't want to... I say that we still haven't seen a 5-tick pullback. More than a 5-tick pullback, rather. So if we come up 4 ticks again, like 04, 050, we could still go lower. And you might see a level break trade there down at the bottom when you do, with people looking to get filled here, and maybe even 120. But this would have been my day, and I traded it wrong. Because I was convinced now to try the range bound, and then I would be able to switch, but I wasn't able to switch. Just did the opposite thing. I just stayed in range bound mode. Yeah, okay. I feel like a total head case, I do, but this isn't the strategy so much as it is the ability to trade it and keep your head about you, right? So I might take a really long time to get myself right. I will catch you guys later.